Welcome into the Alabama Football Report. I am your host, Chris Daughtery. We've been off the past couple of days. I've been pretty sick and, out of work, but we are finally back now. We're going to be previewing this Alabama versus Tennessee game. So if you guys want the Crimson Tide to go out there and beat Tennessee on Saturday, the third Saturday in October, make sure you like today's video for me right now. Should be every single person that watches this video. If you are an Alabama fan, everybody should like this video, so help me out. Like today's video right now. We are previewing this Alabama versus Tennessee matchup, Week 8, the third Saturday in October, one of the biggest games of the season for Alabama. Outside of the Iron Bowl, probably the biggest game of the year, outside of playoffs and stuff like that as well. But a very big rivalry. I know a lot of Alabama fans out there hate Tennessee fans and vice versa. I know a lot of Tennessee fans in my life that will not let me live this down if Alabama loses this game. Even though Tennessee has not beaten Alabama but one time in the last 16, 17 seasons, something like that. But it's going to be a really, really good game. Both teams 1-5 with, frankly, one embarrassing loss for each team. Obviously, Tennessee lost a couple weeks ago to Arkansas. Alabama lost a couple weeks ago to Vanderbilt. So both teams trying to really make a name for himself, and both teams really trying to go out there and make a statement on the third Saturday in October. Alabama opens as a 3-point favorite in this ball game. I'll be honest, I don't think Alabama should be favored, but that's where the odds are right now, and a lot of money. I think I saw yesterday like 90% of the money is coming in for the Crimson Tide in this ball game, but it is the first team that Alabama has faced this season with a top 10 ranked offense and a top 10 ranked defense. So it's going to be a very, very tough game for Alabama, and they're going to have to come out and, really show the Volunteers what they are made of at Neyland Stadium. It's going to be a very, very, raucous environment. 2:30 kickoff Central Time on ABC. I cannot wait for this matchup. We're going to go into the injury reports here. This is the Wednesday availability report that came out for Alabama. Cayden Jones must have got banged up in practice. He's going to be out for this game. Hasn't really played a lot for Alabama this season, so not going to be, a big deal there. Yhonzae Pierre is listed as questionable. We'll see if, he can get back on the field for Alabama. Domani Jackson was out, I think, at the end of the day, it was his hip. It wasn't really a knee or a ankle or a rib, kind of took a knee to the side during that game last week against South Carolina. He's listed as probable. He did come back in the game, so that's not really a surprise there. And then two really big keys for Alabama, Kendrick Law and Kobe Prentice, both listed as probable for this game. So we will see kind of, how that progresses and if these guys are, elevated, to being completely off the injury report. I would love to see that happen. We know Kendrick Law injured his leg a couple weeks ago, and Kobe Prentice also had those concussion-like symptoms a couple weeks ago as well. So we'll keep you guys monitored on anything that changes with Alabama's availability report. I think the next one should come out tonight, somewhere around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So get down there in the comments section and let me know your score prediction to Alabama versus Tennessee this weekend. I'll give mine at the end of today's show, so make sure you guys stick around for that. It is the pinned comment of today's video, so if that ad comes here on YouTube, that is totally fine. Get down there, take advantage of that ad, and let me know your score prediction to Alabama versus Tennessee. On the flip side, Tennessee's injury report now really... There's two notable names on here that I think we need to really dive into. It is Keenan Pili. He is out. Tore his ACL last week against Florida, so he's going to be out for the season, and that's very notable because he was their green dot guy. He was the one that really, called the plays for Tennessee on defense and made sure everybody was real set and ready to go. So that is a very, very big deal for them. And then you have Lance Hurd, left tackle. He is listed as probable for this game. He's played 248 snaps for Tennessee, so definitely their starting left tackle over there. He did miss a couple of games earlier in the season, but, he's been pretty good so far this season, only one sack. So Tennessee definitely wants him out there. If he's not able to go, his replacement is probably going to be Larry Johnson III. He's got over 100 snaps over there at that left tackle position. So I would assume if Hurd is not able to go, it would be Johnson to replace him. But the biggest loss for Tennessee really is Keenan Pili. And, the stats don't really jump off, the screen for you. I think one of the stats that really, does it for me is he is really, really good in run defense. A 1.2 average yards, depth of tackle for him. So, basically what that means is, he plays run really, really well. He comes up there, he, reads the offense really, really fast, and he's able to come up and make some big-time hits. Also got 4 pressures so far this season. So it's definitely going to be a big-time loss for Tennessee. The guy that is set to replace him is Jeremiah Telander, also another guy whose stats don't really jump off the screen for you, but he does have a lot of experience for Tennessee. He's kind of been a rotational piece. So he's not somebody that's, coming in fresh or anything like that, for Tennessee. Don't know necessarily if he's going to be the green dot guy calling the plays on defense for Tennessee. Not necessarily calling the plays. Obviously, that's the DC's job. But, the guy that's out there receiving the play calls and making sure the defense is getting set and everything like that. So we'll see if he is that guy for Tennessee this week or not. Josh Heupel really keeping that one, close to the chest. So, we'll see how that affects Tennessee. But, losing Keenan Pili is a really big loss for the Vols this weekend. Today's Alabama Football Report is brought to you by Ollie. It is clean, fresh nutrition for your dog in 5 flavors that they will absolutely love. Right now, Ollie is offering a fantastic deal to let your pup taste test a personalized meal plan. Get 60% off your first box of meals when you use promo code CHATSPORTS at ollie.com. You don't have to be a vet to know that feeding your dog real whole foods with minimal processing is one of the best choices that you can make for their health. This is how it works. You fill out Ollie's 30-second quiz, and they'll create a customized meal plan. Ollie then crunches the numbers and recommends the right recipes and daily portions for your pet. For any first-timers, Ollie will send out your pup's first box with 2 weeks worth of meals and a guide of how to gradually switch them over to their new diet. You can customize your plan. Ollie offers 3 meal plans to choose from, so you can choose between a full fresh plan, a fresh topper plan, or a mixed plan with their freshly baked recipes. When I get home from work, my dog Luca right here, he also graduated from Alabama. He doesn't even want to go outside to go to the bathroom first. The first thing he wants is his Ollie dog food. He is jumping at the refrigerator because he absolutely loves it and he cannot get enough of it. So head to ollie.com and tell them about your dog. Use promo code CHATSPORTS and get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. That's OLLIE.com and enter promo code CHATSPORTS to get 60% off of your first box. They offer a clean bowl guaranteed on their first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you can get your money back. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's video. One more time for you guys, that's ollie.com and use promo code CHATSPORTS. We're going to get into our keys to victory now for Alabama versus Tennessee. The first key to victory is pretty damn simple. You got to stop the run. You got to stop Dylan Sampson. He has been absolutely, lights out for Tennessee so far this season. And let's be honest, Alabama stopping the run has not been very good. So they're really going to have to step it up in their run defense in this game. Because Dylan Sampson has been phenomenal for Tennessee. He is super explosive. And he has really been the reason why their offense looks so incredible so far this season. And, a lot of people look at Nico Iamaleava. Yes, he is a very, very good player overall. But if you really, really dive into, what he has done for Tennessee so far this year, he really hasn't been the X factor for them on offense. One of the biggest things for Josh Heupel in this Tennessee offense is the fact that they spread you out so far. They spread you out outside the numbers, and that really, really clears out the box for the opposing defenses. And that really allows the run game to really flourish and really feed. And Nico Iamaleava has been fine, but I don't think he has really been the X factor for Tennessee. These are the breakdowns right here, the game logs for Nico Iamaleava. Only one game so far where he has thrown for over 300 yards so far this season. It was the first game of the season right here against Chattanooga. The next highest game for him throwing the ball was that second game of the year against NC State. So, he's definitely a guy who has taken care of the ball and he's done some very good things. He's extremely accurate, but those first couple games of the season, didn't really play the best opponents. You see out there that North Carolina State game, they won 51-10. He only threw for 211 yards. They beat Kent State 71-0. Only threw for 173 yards. So there are a lot of things about this Tennessee offense where Nico Iamaleava, definitely a very good player, but Dylan Sampson is really the key for the Vols, for their offense. So let me know in the comments section, guys, more or less, Dylan Sampson right now is averaging 116 yards per game. So let me know how many rushing yards Dylan Sampson will rush for. If you think it's more than that 116.5 number, type M in the comment section. Or if you think it's going to be less, type L for me. Alabama's really struggled, in run defense so far this year. So this number right here could be a very key factor if Alabama wins this game or not. Key to victory number 2, it's going to be those third downs. We've talked about this on almost all of our keys to victory so far this season. But it's going to be really both sides of things. It's going to be Tennessee's defense, against Alabama's offense and vice versa. So far this season, Tennessee on third downs, pretty solid, 44.9%. They're doing pretty good. And honestly, if we look at this number right here, our overreactions, I think, to this third down thing past couple of weeks has really been inflated by that Vanderbilt game and last week from one drive against South Carolina. Otherwise, that South Carolina game, they did pretty well. They only had one drive where they went 5 for 5 on third downs, and they were like 7 for 15 on the game. So, it's one drive against South Carolina that was really bad, and the entire game versus Vandy was really bad as well. But the rest of the season, Alabama has actually done a pretty decent job on third downs. It's just being consistent and able to get off the field on third downs where this game can really be a factor. And really, most notably, Alabama is actually really bad on fourth down. So far, they've allowed 11 for 16 fourth down attempts. So if Alabama can get to those third downs, if they can get off the field, don't hurt yourself by extending drives with penalties and things like that. I think Alabama can do a pretty decent job in this game. I do think they are getting better, especially on those third down attempts. And then when you flip it, Alabama's offense has been pretty incredible on third downs, actually. 46.8% so far on third downs. Same with Tennessee's defense, though. They've been really, really good on third downs as well. I think really for Alabama on offense when it comes to those third down opportunities, it's those 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3, those 3rd and short opportunities. Alabama has got to be able to run the ball, and they've got to be able to do it consistently. They just have not been able to do it this year, and really it's been the past couple of years things. The offensive line hasn't been able to get a consistent push up front and, help those running backs be able to convert on those 3rd and shorts. It's been a real issue the past couple of years. It's been an issue this year as well. Really, really, really need those guys to step up along the offensive line. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We will be live for our Alabama versus Tennessee watch party. Last year, for the third Saturday in October, was our first ever watch party. So we're a year later now. We're a bunch of watch parties in. Do not miss out. We're going to start at 1:30 Central Time, 1 hour before kickoff. So do not miss out. Hit that sub button for me. That's youtube.com/@RollTideTV. Key to victory number 3, Alabama has got to pressure Nico Iamaleava. He is very, very, very good when there is no pressure on him. But when you put pressure on him, he really kind of starts to fold. You look back to that Florida game last week. He was not very good when, he was when he has to, run outside the pocket. He can still be accurate. He can still be pretty decent. But when you put pressure on him, he really does start to fold a little bit more. You look at this number right here when he's under pressure. 35% completion percentage with an interception. right here as well. When he is blitzed, 58% completion percentage with 2 interceptions. Now, one thing that Alabama hasn't done a lot of this year is actually, dial up those designed blitz packages and things like that. So I would really love to see that from Kane Womack. We've been on him, about Alabama not really being able to get pressure on opposing quarterbacks. They were able to do it with 4 guys against South Carolina. They still weren't really calling blitzes or anything like that, but those guys were able to get pressure. If they can do that, I think they got a pretty decent chance of, making Nico Iamaleava really make some mistakes in this game. And if you look at this stat right here, 12 sacks on 48 pressures so far this season for Nico Iamaleava. So if you can get to him, you got about a 1 in 4 chance that you're going to be able to get him down to the ground. So let me know again in the comments section your chance to get interactive with our show today. What side of the ball do you guys trust more? If it's the offense type O or if it's the defense type D in the comment section right now. For me personally, I have more confidence in the offense, but I want to hear from you guys in the comment section, so let me know. Get down there and let me know right now. Key to victory number 4. We talked about it a little bit just a second ago, but I really need this offensive line to step up, man. They have really, really played pretty soft so far this year, and Tennessee has some guys up front that, if you give them the opportunity, they can absolutely take advantage of you. James Pierce Jr., a guy that hasn't had the best start to the season. He was looked at as, top 5, top 10 guy going into that 2025 NFL draft. Kind of dropped a little bit more, but he is still firmly in that first round category. 21 pressures for him so far this season. So I am very, very nervous, honestly, with Alabama's offensive line. Dominic Bailey also had a pretty decent season so far for the Vols. And Joshua Joseph's another guy that I want to, highlight there. He's got 20 tackles for Tennessee on the defensive front, 4.5 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble. So Tennessee's got some dogs on the defensive line. And some guys that I really need to step up are your guys in the middle. Tyler Booker, Jourdan Roberts. Now, Jourdan Roberts has been kind of banged up this year. You can give him a little bit of slack for that. But, man, those guys in the interior right there, you got a lot of hype with those PFF preseason, rankings, them being the best interior offensive line in the country. Well, I'll tell you what, man, so far in this season, they have not impressed me that much. And that might be a little bit harsh, but, they're definitely guys that can be in that first round of the NFL draft category. Right now, so far through a couple of games, they have not played like that. So I need these guys to really step up. Elijah Pritchett, need him to step up as well. He's kind of up and down so far this season. Caden Proctor's had a pretty decent season so far, but altogether as a unit, really need this offensive line to step up and really play some bully ball because, that's something that we've definitely missed from our offensive line the past few years. Key to victory number 5, don't press. Don't press. This is a game, it's going to be in a hectic environment on the road, Neyland Stadium. We know how those fans are. They're crazy. They might throw stuff on the field sometimes. They're Tennessee fans. They're crazy. They're obnoxious. They'll flip you off. They'll throw things on you. They're absolutely insane. So you cannot feed into the environment and you cannot feed into the pressure of this game. Jalen Milroe, he's been really, really good this year for you. Didn't have his best game of, probably one of the worst games of his entire career against South Carolina. And you go in there and you win that game anyways. I think that says a lot about what he is as a quarterback. 72% completion percentage. That is up from last year. Only 4 interceptions. I think me personally, I only put 2 of those interceptions on him. Both of those came in that South Carolina game. They're going to get him going on the ground, I think, in this game. I think they're going to have to, especially if that offensive line isn't really able to work for those, regular running backs, Jam Miller and Justice Haynes. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Jalen Milroe in this game. But one thing of note, Alabama trailed in this game last year, 20-7 at halftime, and they ended up coming back in that game, scoring 27 unanswered points in the second half, and the defense shut Tennessee out in the second half as well. So if Alabama gets behind in this game, just keep the faith and just keep pushing forward and have that faith and confidence that this Alabama offense is going to be able to get you back in it, and have some faith in the defense too. They have not played so good so far this season, but they have shown that, they're able to, at times, really bear down and, make plays when they need to. So fingers crossed the defense is able to do that against Tennessee. And if Alabama does get behind in this game, it's okay. Take a deep breath and just have some faith. That's what I'm going to try to do the rest of the way. So my score prediction for this game, I think it's going to be a very close one. I'm going to go with the over on this game, but Alabama is going to win it 38 to 35. Go ahead and smoke them if you got them. Let's light up Neyland Stadium on Saturday.